Good day, ma'am. Today we're going to be discussing about our final examination, and we are here to discuss our chosen case study for today. So we are Group 9, and we are consisted of Trisha Ann Marie Andal, Ian Angelo Puercon, and Daniel Danison Ramos. Next slide, please. Now to formally start our case digest, we just want to make sure that you know the premise of the background of the study or the case that we are going to be introducing. So, Malu recently joined EAP Voltes Digital, a production house, as a recruitment manager. Malu is in charge of preparing the shortlist of candidates for the final interview stage based on competitive criteria. All applicants are reviewed by Malu before the final decision for hiring is made by the applicant's prospective immediate superior. One afternoon, upon returning to her desk after lunch break, Malu finds a long brown envelope on her table, identical to the envelopes that their company requires applicants to submit their resumes in. Stuck at the center of the envelope is a post-it with the following message scribbled in the handwriting of her direct superior, Mike Mariano. So the note says, "Malu, please have her hiring papers ready by the end of next week. Thanks, M. Mariano." Malu opens the envelope and finds a resume for a candidate named Jessa M. Palacios, a fresh graduate who appears to have not taken school seriously, the kind of candidate that she would outright reject. So, our crisis today is, what should Malu do? Next slide, please. Now, upon seeing this case, we have identified first what are the core issues involved, or what are the main issues that we have seen first. So first is nepotism and bias. So Mike Mariano, or the superior, is bypassing the standard, so competitive hiring process to force the hiring of an unqualified candidate, which is Jessa. This violates the principle of fairness and meritocracy. So another core issue is the violation of the HR policy. So Malu's role is the recruitment manager, and it is being undermined because the established system of shortlisting based on competitive criteria is being ignored. So this establishes a toxic precedent where management rules can be broken by leadership or by authority, which is Mike Mariano, the supervisor or the superior. Now the third issue was the competency and integrity. So Jess's resume shows she is unqualified and did not take her education seriously. So hiring her compromises the professional standards of the company, which is EAP Voltes Digital. And this puts Malu in a position where she is being forced to compromise her own professional integrity. And these are the main issues that we have seen. So let's proceed to the next. Now, what are the causes, or what are the possible reasons that this happens? So, abuse of authority workspace. Mike, which is the supervisor or the superior, is using his organizational power for personal interest or favoritism rather than the company's best interest. So another cause that we have seen is maybe lack of check and balance. So the current workflow allows a direct superior to make a final hiring decision without any accountability or oversight from higher management or a dedicated HR committee. So these two are the main causes that we have seen that may have caused the following issues to happen in that case said. So, next slide please. Now, so here, what we have seen here is the comparison, or what are the potential consequences if Malu were to follow the order or not to follow the order. If Malu happens to follow the order of her superior, then increased team performance may happen because they accepted Jessa, an incompetent employee. This can lead to a poor production quality. Another one is low employee morale. So other hardworking employees, qualified applicants, lose trust in the company if they realize hiring is based on favoritism rather than merit. So this is because of the inequality that happened. So now what happens if Malu refuses the order from her superior? Workplace conflict. It will create immediate tension between Malu and her direct boss, which is Mike. This could threaten her job security or career growth within the company. So, let's proceed to the next part of the presentation, which will be shown by Mr. Daniel Danison Ramos.
For the recommendation and solution, we created 6 actions based on the main issues that are identified in the case. These are not only focused on what Molo should do, but also on what the company must improve to prevent the same ethical problem in the future. The first one, Molo should follow the proper hiring process. This means Jetcha should undergo the same screening, interview, and evaluation process as the other applicants, and the decision should be based on qualifications and merit. Second, Malu should clarify the instruction professionally. Instead of directly confronting Mike, she can respectfully ask if Jessa still needs to follow the standard recruitment process. This is important because it allows Malu to respond professionally while avoiding blind obedience to an instruction that may be unfair. Third, Malu should document the situation. This is a very important because having proper records can protect her from possible blame or misunderstanding. It will also help ensure that the issue will be handled based on facts, not just verbal statements. Fourth, if Mike continues to pressure her, Malu should escalate the concern to HR or higher management. This does not mean she is trying to create a conflict, but the purpose of this is to protect the company from favoritism, abuse of authority, and conflict of interest. Aside from Malu's actions, the company also have responsibility to solve the issue. The company should strengthen its hiring policy by requiring written approvals, hiring checklists, HR review, and panel-based evaluation before employment papers are prepared. This prevents one person from forcing a hiring decision without proper accountability. And lastly, the company should promote ethical leadership. Supervisors should be reminded that hiring decision must be fair, professional, and based on qualifications. This shows that solving the problem is not only Malu's duty, but also the company's responsibility. And for the best course of action, we believe that the solution should not focus only on what Malu must do, since this issue involves workplace authority, hiring policy, and ethical decision making. Both Malu and the company have responsibilities in resolving the problem. For Malu, she should not immediately prepare Jess's hiring papers because doing so would violate fairness and proper recruitment procedure. Instead, she should clarify Mike's instructions, document the situation, and ensure that Jessa goes through the same evaluation process as the other applicants. And for the company, management should strengthen its hiring process by requiring written approvals, HR review, and proper documentation before employment papers are prepared. This will help prevent favoritism, abuse of authority, and unfair hiring decisions while maintaining a fair and accountable recruitment system. Through these recommendations, we believe that Malu and the company can resolve the issue in professional and in ethical way. This protects Malu's integrity, gives every applicant an equal chance to be evaluated properly, and helps the company maintain a hiring process that is fair, accountable, and transparent. In the end, ethical hiring is not about choosing the right applicant, but also about building trust in stronger workplace culture for the company. And now let's proceed to our conclusions.
To conclude, this study case shows importance of ethics, fairness, and professionalism in making decisions inside the workplace. Favoritism, abuse of authority may also lose to the advantage, but they can also damage employee trust, morale, and company in the long term. Malu's role is not only to follow orders, but also protect the integrity of the hiring process to ensure that every applicant evaluate fairness in equal through proper documentation, professionalism, and community, and ethical leadership, organize and create a workplace culture built on accountancy and transparency and trust. Next slide, please. For this reference, provides values inside the workplace ethics, professionalism, and abroad authority professional hiring practices.
And that concludes our case digest for today. So, once again, we are Group 9. And we are Trisha Marie Andal, Daniel Danison Ramos, and Ian Angel Parcon. And this is the Supervisor's Choice. That is all. Thank you.